Be selfish in your life, in your career. Think about yourself all of the time.
What does being selfish mean? Like,
Meaning that when you're in a situation that doesn't serve you, you think of yourself first. Oftentimes we're in these situations that aren't serving us and we're thinking about how the other person's going to feel.
Is it good to be selfish? Yes, it is. It's good to be selfish. You know why? Because it teaches others how to treat you, and it teaches others to put you first. If you want to be first, you got to be selfish. You want to be put first, you got to be selfish. Why? You know why? Because if you're selfish and you put yourself first, and a man wants to date you and he really likes you, he's going to put you first because he knows that you need to be put first because you're selfish. Otherwise, he don't have a chance. So even if you're not really selfish within your heart and you are, a good, decent, giving person, he ain't got to know that. Okay? You don't have to act like that all the time. You can act like that with your kids, with your family. But when it comes to teaching others how to treat you, that's what you need to do.
Masculine men want you to be selfish. Masculine men want you to put yourself first. You know why? Because masculine men understand this simple and brilliant dynamic. They don't want to carry your happiness on their back. They want a woman who's going to be self-sufficient and have wisdom in her womanhood, in the fact that she knows that she needs to make herself happy in order to give him all that feminine energy and that beauty in his life. If you don't like the feminine energy lingo, I'll say it differently. He wants a woman who can make herself happy, know what she wants, put herself first. So in being with you, he can go on and achieve all the things that he needs to achieve, build those businesses, create those dreams, build those empires, because he knows if you don't put yourself first, girl, do you know what you're going to do? You're going to be hanging on his neck, waiting for him to replenish your cup because you don't know how to do it. So when men love in these comments to write, yeah, but what do you do if you don't 50-50? I go, that man is not in his masculine energy, and that's fine because he's not striving, he's not achieving things. He doesn't want a self-sufficient partner who can focus on herself and be like, okay, this is what I need to make myself happy, darling, this is what I need from you, and this is what I need to be happy. I'm going to replenish myself in order to give to you a happy, beautiful, smiling woman that's going to inspire you to go and conquer the world. Instead, what they want is a woman to give to them, to cater to them, to mother them, deplete herself, and at the end they wonder, oh, why was she so wonderful when I met her, but now she's resentful and she's ugly? Well, look, if you found her beautiful and amazing and now she's resentful and ugly with you, my friend, the system you believe in isn't working. So that's why masculine men know that they need a woman who puts herself first, so he can put himself first, and you both put in 100% and you both achieve.
Growing up, I was taught that being selfless is the only way to enter heaven, and that being selfish is a sure way to go to hell. So I did it. Since I was young, all I did was give, not realizing that later on in life, I would be pouring from an empty cup all the time. Not realizing that when someone asks me what it is that I want, I don't even know what I want. What do you want? Because what do you want? What you want is what I want. I've become such a people pleaser because you got to give, right? That's what selflessness is. You got to give yourself. And then later on, you realize answering questions like, do I like cake? Or because do you like cake? Do I like these clothes that I wear? Or because you like when I wear them? Am I really okay that you said that to me? Or is it because I just don't want to hurt your feelings? Do I really want this job, or is it because my parents want this job for me? Or is it because society expects me to have this job for me? I was at work one time and my boss asked me, he's like, what do you want, Kev? The only way I can help you is to know what you want so that we can adjust to what you want. And I wholeheartedly could not answer that. My answer was like, what do you want? I'll adjust to what you want. There is a balance between selflessness and selfishness that I feel like we should teach kids nowadays. Being able to own yourself and to truly fill your cup so that you don't keep pouring from an empty cup is such a talent, is such a skill. Being able to say no when you don't want to, being able to say yes when you want to do the things that you want, being able to not feel bad when you want to buy yourself or treat yourself something. Even when it comes to relationship, some people are just like, how do you give yourself to someone when you don't even know what to give? And we have become so afraid of our own potentials because we've never tried to reach them. Our own potentials are always measured by other people. And we always feel like we're going to explode because we have nothing. We're a husk. We're empty. And I keep saying it. We keep pouring from an empty cup. We don't even know what cup we are. People cannot give what they do not have, and that's the same with you. How can you give something that you don't have? And that's the danger, I feel like, of being taught this radical selflessness, where you just give everything that you have, and then again, how can you give when you don't have anything? People are so tired and people are so uninspired, and people nowadays are just dying for a strong sense of self. But how, when we keep teaching everyone to not be selfish, and that selfishness is the worst way a person can live? Maybe we need to be more selfish. Maybe we need to start saying things like, no, we don't want to stay at jobs that doesn't see our potential. We don't want to stay in relationships that makes us feel like shit. We don't want to stay in friendships that doesn't make us feel alive. No, we don't want to go to dinner and then spend money on boring conversations. No, I don't want to go out and get drunk every weekend because I want to do things that I love to do. Maybe we need to be more selfish with our time. Maybe we need to start owning our time, and we need to start taking them back again. And maybe this is why we always feel like we're rushing, is because we have not owned our time. We just keep giving it away to people. Maybe it's really time to understand that we owe ourselves the love we give to others. We owe ourselves the consideration we give to others. We owe ourselves the kindness, the dignity, the boundaries we give to others. We owe ourselves the world. And when we start feeling that we have owned it, it's the true time that we can fully, truly give to someone. And it doesn't take much. It really doesn't take much. I know when I say this, it's like I say that, oh, the only way you can be selfless is if you fully, truly own the world. No, it really doesn't take much. But a lot of us, even our thoughts, even the way we think, even the way we go about the world, it's always in consideration with other people. We have not learned how to trust ourselves and give ourselves trust that we can't do things anymore. The only way you'll find yourself is to be first and foremost selfish. Be selfish as to what it is you want in the world. And that, if that has to do with a certain person, then that's great. That's your own goal. But you gotta start thinking about your goals. You gotta start thinking about what you want. And you can start small. If you want to go to this restaurant, go for it. Don't wait for anyone else. If you want to wear a certain kind of clothing, go for it. Why? The one thing is that we are so afraid of people not liking us nowadays, not realizing that most people don't like themselves. So why would you care? Fill your cup truly and fully, because you realize that it's so much better to pour from an overflowing one than an empty one. Love you all.
I just want to let you know, as a woman, there is so much benefit when you become selfish. And you can descend to men and still not be selfish. Okay? You can descend to men and still not be selfish. There's a level of selfishness that you need to have in this life to become successful as a woman. You need to only think about yourself. When you are doing anything, when you are talking to any man or woman, when you're entering into any type of friendship, you just got to think about yourself. You got to think about what you want to achieve in life, where you see yourself going, where you want to be, before you have any type of association or any type of conversation with anybody. And I'm not saying that, being selfish means that you need to be mean, you need to be horrible, you need to be unkind. No, I am just saying that while being nice, sweet, kind to people, you still gotta put yourself first. You still gotta think about who you are become, because look, there's so many people that will steal from you. There are people that will steal your energy. There are people that will steal your joy when you're an overgiver. You can give too much. There's something called overgiving. It's when you give too much of your time. It's when you give too much of your energy. It's when you give too much to the people that are undeserving of it. And this is why you see a lot of people will become sad. A lot of people will become upset when they've realized that they've given too much and they're not receiving what they're giving. You need to understand that you should only give not even up to 1/4 of what you have. You should only give about 10% of what you have, because there are people that will steal that from you. And some people would take it from you by force. So You need to know, as a woman, you can win when you become selfish, and you will win when you become selfish. And when you become selfish, you think less about people. You don't have to do all that work of having to learn how to descend to people, how to not be a people pleaser. All that work is done already because you have become selfish. You put yourself as number one. You become the ultimatum.
I decided going into 2025 that this was going to be my me year. Being selfish, putting myself first. Because all last year you find yourself saying yes to everything and everybody, and nobody checks on you and nobody cares about what you need. And the moment that you don't show up for that person, they have everything in the book to say about you. So best and safest thing to do is to just put yourself first. Because people are always going to be people regardless of who they are, regardless of what you do for them, regardless of how many times you show up. You can go a mile for a person, and some people will not cross the street for you when you're in need. So in the grand scheme of things, putting yourself first is the best and easiest thing to do. Because at the end of the day, just because a snake is a pet doesn't mean it won't eat you when it's hungry. It's the same thing that goes for friends. Because it's funny when things don't go a person's way, they automatically turn on you and make you the villain.
I want to make this video very short and sweet. And it brings me no joy to talk about a topic like this. It has to be addressed. Men are very selfish, and that is something we ought to learn from them as women. Men leave situations that no longer benefit them. Men respect their boundaries, and they move on when they need to. A man can promise you something and never fulfill it if at that moment in time he doesn't feel the need to anymore. They have no loyalties to us. And I know firsthand how hard it is to walk away from a situation, from somebody that you love and something that you're desperately trying to make work. But if this person is not treating you right, not loving you right, not showing you any respect, please learn to walk away and put yourself first. It will only benefit you in the long run. Trust me.
Something that I've realized at a very, very young age is when you are pursuing something in life, you need to be selfish. You only have enough bandwidth to take care of yourself until you have reached a point of prevalence where you are able to be generous with your energy, your finances, and overall your presence. A lot of times people get that big breakthrough, that first step in the right direction, and immediately you'll magically get a call from somebody that you ain't talked to in years, reaching out for some money or ask you to show up to this or come to this party or come to this get together. A lot of people don't make it out because they can't leave behind what's behind them. How the hell are you about to elevate if you're in the same surroundings? How are you about to elevate when you just gave them your last when this was the first month that you were profitable? You ain't even have time to reinvest in your craft because you're investing in the people around you that never invested in you. You're on the phone sitting around talking to them about their problems when you could be in the house working on your craft. You need to be selfish when you are pursuing a goal. Isolation breeds success. And a lot of y'all are being way too generous with your resources. This task that you are pursuing is a tall task, and it's going to need all hands on deck. Be selfish with your energy.
I need you to stop being considerate in places you're not even considered. Sometimes a good heart is the biggest loser. You need to stop overplaying your part. You're not a superhero. For your sake, I need you to be selfish.